You want to pick up 2 bowls. Make sure they are ceramic or glass and that they are heat proof. I took them home and I'm going to give them a coat of spray paint. Once the paint is dry, these bowls have a really nice textured look. I'm just going to use some really strong glue to adhere them together. In the top bowl, I am going to add 3 wicks. I'm just going to use a little bit of hot glue to secure them to the bottom. Then I'm going to grab 2 wooden skewers and wrap the wick around the skewers. This is just going to hold everything in place. Great way to make your own candles is to reuse existing candle wax. I have a couple of these Dollar Tree tall pillar candles, and I'm going to place them in some boiling water. Now make sure you're wearing gloves. These can get really hot. And I'm just going to gently boil this until all the wax is melted. Pour the wax from all the candles into a metal container with a handle. I'm opting to add a little essential oil for some scent. And now we're just going to pour that melted wax. Then you're going to want to walk away for about 24 hours. When it is completely set, you can trim the wicks down and use your candle. I hope this inspired you to grab a ceramic salad bowl from Walmart and make your own.
Separate the layers of a patterned paper napkin. Cut the paper napkin as needed. Now we are going to actually iron the paper napkin onto the taper. Heat and iron to medium-low heat, not too hot. Let the candle cool and start to use in your own home decor. Fill a heat-safe container with hot water between 100 and 110 degrees. Place a taper candle in the hot water and let sit for 10 minutes. Paraffin candle works best for this. After 10 minutes, pull the candle from the water and then wrap the candle in some wax paper. Take a rolling pin and press down on the middle of the candle. Once the middle section is flattened, take the candle and gently twist it into the shape that you want. When you get the twist that you want, place the candle in cold water and this will set the candle in its new shape. Then, have fun displaying your new twisted taper candle. Take painter's tape and tape off sections on a taper candle. Make sure that the edges are pressed down securely on the edges of the tape. Once taped off, paint light coats of acrylic paint in the open sections of the candle in the color or colors of your choice. Let dry completely. Try displaying them in odd-numbered groupings and vary the height of your candlesticks. A variety of colors, textures, and patterns make the display even more interesting and unique.
Start by breaking apart some pillar wax and add it to a pan to melt. After that, melt the mixture. A double boiler is ideal, but if you don't have one, you can use a baking tin or metal bowl on top of a pot with water. Next, grab some crayons and choose colors. Take off the paper and add them to the wax. After that, melt the mixture. Then, grab a recycled carton and unfold it. Cut 2 slits on either side of the top. Wrap the wick around a straw or chopstick to keep it in place. Then, grab some ice. Begin adding ice to the carton mold. Then, pour the wax over the ice and allow it to cool. Repeat this process in all different colors. After they have cooled, grab a towel and carefully cut and rip away the carton. Use them together for a fun party centerpiece or separate to add a pop of color all around your home.
I saw some candles from Pottery Barn. I thought it'd be fun to try making them myself. I'm going to put a little glue into a small container and then add a bit of paint. Now that I have the glue tinted, I'm going to paint it all over the glass dish on the outside. I'm going to leave these for a few hours before moving on. Using some Mod Podge, I'm going to paint it around the dishes. I can sprinkle the white glitter all over it, and then when it dries, the glitter will stay in place. I grabbed these pillar candles from the dollar store, and I'm going to melt them down. I'm just going to use a couple of skewers to hold the wicks in place. I want to add some essential oil to give my candles a beautiful scent. It's time to fill the glass dishes. The final thing to do is to remove the skewers and then trim the wicks. How pretty are these Pottery Barn inspired candles? They even smell as good as they look.
Today I'm going to decorate pillar candles. First thing I'm going to do is take an old candle and I'm cutting it up, taking the wax off the wick in chunks like that. Then I'm going to put it, this is a plastic beaker, and put the wax in there, and then I'm going to put this in a pan of boiling water to melt the wax. Once the wax has melted, I've poured it into a little paper cup that I can pinch on the side to make a pouring spout. And I've got here a mould of 2 butterflies. And very carefully, while the wax is still very hot, I'm pouring it into the mould. And using a skewer, just make sure that all the little bits have filled up. Don't worry about these bits on the side, we can just remove those as they dry. And then leave that to set up, and it's quite transparent at the moment, as you can see, but once it starts to go opaque, obviously that means the wax is drying. Okay, now when I tap it gently, it's warm, it's not unbearably hot, and I'm going to try now to ease it out of the mould, releasing it from the sides first, and flip it over. There we are. And immediately place it on the candle and press it down. It's still warm, and the heat of this wax on the butterfly is going to stick it to the candle. If it breaks in half, or whatever you're deciding to do breaks in half, it's not a problem. You can just push it together, and you can actually use some of the melted wax on a tiny paintbrush to fix it down. Now that is still warm. That is now sticking to this candle. This is wax sticking to wax. This is set now. It's cold and it's set on there and ready for the next step. But I have poured another butterfly, and this time I'm timing it to give you some idea of how long it takes for the wax to set up. It does depend, obviously, on how deep your mold is. Some are deeper than others. So I've got on here 2 minutes 33 at the moment. Okay, at 5.5 minutes it came out of the mold. So that will just give you an idea of how long it takes. And I'm going to put this one on the same candle and hold it down. It's still warm, so it will still stick to the candle. So now I'm going to decorate this with some gold leaf. And the first thing we have to do is to apply some size, which will make the leaf stick. I'm actually going to use this gel medium, which is called Tacky When Dry. This works the same as gold leaf size. So I'm going to just paint it all over my wax pieces, trying to be careful and not get it on the candle itself. But as these are so thick, I am taking it over the edge. If you do get some on the candle, we can easily scrape that off afterwards, so it's not a huge problem. Okay, and then I have to leave that to dry. Now the size is dry and it is tacky, and I'm going to take some copper leaf and place it over each of these butterflies and the bee. Got a very soft brush here, you could use a makeup brush, and pounce it down. Just remove the excess carefully. Some of it will stick to the candle and to your fingers, but we can scrape that away if you get a lot stuck on. Okay, I'm going to carry on filling in any bits I've missed and cleaning up the bits I don't want that have stuck to the candle, and then I'll come back and show you how it looks. And here is my finished candle, all cleaned up now. 2 copper butterflies and 1 bumblebee. And here is another one I did with gold leaf. And here's one I did, a queen bee one, with a crown and a bumblebee. I also tried it on a battery operated candle, and look, it worked exactly the same. Amazing. Now my candle did have a waxy finish to the outside, but it's very exciting. So there you have it, 4 beautiful candles with wax embellishments. I hope you've enjoyed this episode and I have inspired you to have a go. I'm Julie McDowell. I'll see you next time.